In this video, we're going to focus on doing the seat top cover. Okay, so doing the top, we're going to walk you step by step through that install process. So we're working on the 2011 through 19 model. That's the year range that this style seat works for. Works for a lot of the different editions, the Laredo, the Limited, the Overland package. I think the Summit even runs the same style seats in terms of the frames and the foam and everything and how it's all going to go, be disassembled and reassembled and everything like that, redoing the upholstery on it. So, but yeah, here we go. So we're going to start with the back. There's a big panel on the back seat of this thing, big plastic panel on the back. So we're going to pop this thing off. We'll flip this around so we can see that panel. I'm going to show you another panel that's already taken off of a different seat so you kind of know what we're going in after. Because that's half the battle, is knowing what's holding this dang thing on, how do I get it off? Should I get mad and just rip the hell out of it? Or is there really a screw in there that I can't see and I need to get it before I break it? So here's same panel, just like this. Voila, taken off. Okay, so the bottom, we got two clips. These are just the pull tabs. So you can just pull these suckers straight out. And then we got four other little clips that hook in around the frame. These would kind of push in and they'll pop off, and these just will pull down. So the biggest thing is start at the bottom, knowing that there's two clips here. There's no screws to it, nothing like that. This is going to pull out, and then this thing will drop down some, we'll pull it off. So that's what we're looking at on the inside of this, okay? Throw this to the side. Start taking it apart. Okay, so now, here's our seat. We're going to grab here. There's the bottom, let's pull that down, okay. Pull here, just going to yank out there and there, okay? So now the bottoms are loose. And then I kind of wiggle this back and forth until it pops out. Something's hooking there. That's undone. Okay, let me get a screwdriver. There we go. Okay, so that pops off. This was just kind of, I put my screwdriver in here, right there, and just gave it a push in, and that popped it loose. Okay, a lot of times you can just pull it down, wiggle it left and right, and it comes loose, but that's all there is to it. So we'll set this to the side. Now there's a bunch of clips that wrap around and hook onto the frame around here, okay? And they're real shallow clips. Makes it a little harder to get off, but we're gonna come through here with a flathead. Kind of go in between the clip and the metal, roll that backwards, and start to peel that sucker off, okay? So this clip comes over, goes over the top, and then pushes down to hook on. Same thing all the way around. So we're gonna work our way around, pull all these off. Come on now. There we go. We'll go to this side. Let me tip this over. Like that. Okay. Let's see if I can. See, these clips are really small, so there's not much of a channel to get it to. Once you get it started, you can grab that clip and then it'll pry it back. There we go. We got another one here at the top. Okay, that's off. Now, that's it. Okay, so this, let's move this out of the way. There we go. Two other pieces here that wrap and hook on to a little metal hook in the frame. Just grab this, pull it down, and that pulls around. Okay, so that little stump right there just got a hole in this material. This black material is called Do-On. So the Do-On just pulls, hooks around that. Same thing on this side. Get a little slack, pull that up. Pull that off, okay? So that's free. We'll set this back up here. Okay, now this particular truck or Jeep has side impact airbags, okay? So there's an airbag built into the side of the seat. That airbag fits into a sleeve or a pocket that's actually built into the cover. So airbags can be a little bit tricky sometimes. We'll show you the built-in airbag. You'll definitely know you got an airbag, as there's a tag on the side of the seat, and that's always on the side that faces the door. So this is a driver's side seat, airbags on this side, built inside of here. There's two 10mm nuts on the inside of this frame that are for the airbag. So we're going to pull those out. So I'm going to get my 10mm. Probably take an extension. See if we can get a shot of these two nuts here. Okay, so on the inside of the frame right here, there's a 10mm nut right there. And then about 3-4 inches above it, right there, there's another one, okay? A little 10mm nut. We're gonna undo those. We need to loosen those, take the nuts off, set them to the side, and then we'll work on removing the airbag canister out of the sleeve that's sewn to the cover here in just a second. But we'll start pulling those two off. One. Two. Okay, 2 10s, put them to the side. Okay, now for this top, here's extra material from the bottom that pulls through. We're going to stuff it through to the front, pull it forward. Okay. Okay, now this is pulled forward. Okay, so we need to go through, because the seams are all attached to the foam. So we got to start undoing a lot of those seams. So we're going to pull this back here and see how it's holding. Okay, these are Velcro, so it looks like my vertical is going to be Velcro. So get your hand up underneath, start separating that Velcro, at least to the first horizontal, okay? So that's free. So now we can start pulling our cover, start turning it in the inside out, rolling it up. Okay, now we got our first horizontal seam. These have the little push tabs. So there's a little plastic tab that's built into the frame, built into the foam. And on the underneath side of the cover, the back side of the cover, there's a plastic strip that's sewn in, and it pushes, it's shaped like, the tip of it's shaped like an arrow. So it pushes down in and clips into these catches in the foam. So you can push down on one side of the catch and it'll pry loose. So right here's the little catch. Here's the arrow piece that's sewn into the cover. I'm going to push down on this tab, and this will pop out. We'll kind of roll it out, okay? There we go. So you can see that arrow shape on the tip of that, okay? That's what hooks in. This has got two double-sided. There's a catch there and a catch there on both sides, okay? So it pushes in and holds. Same thing here. Push down, roll that out. This is so close to the edge, I can just pull this one, slide it out, okay? Okay, now I can do a little bit more Velcro on the side that doesn't have the airbag. And I'm actually going to go ahead and undo these 3 connections that are on this horizontal seam as well. So I'm going to pop this loose, roll it. Okay, those are free. Now we need to get to the airbag. Okay, so the airbag connection, so the wire that runs to it's going to be fed from the bottom and go up into the back, the very rear back of the canister. So the canister is free, so it'll pull, this will slide out from the frame. Okay, so we can see some separation here. So the canister is this black piece inside of this material, okay? So the connection is at the very bottom, okay? Airbag connections always have a double catch, okay? So here, you got a yellow connection, and everything yellow is gonna be airbag, okay? See the orange piece, that's a double lock on it. So the orange piece is gonna pull out. If you get some fingernails, you can get in there and pry it out sometimes. If not, you get your little flathead. So once that pulls out, it releases and the whole thing comes out. When you push it back in, and this back in there, you can push that orange tab in, it locks it back into place, okay? So that's what holds the plug into place. So that's where it plugs into right there, okay? It can only go in one way. It goes in that way. It won't go in this way. It goes that way. then when you push it in, push the orange rig, snaps into place, okay? Now our wire's out of the way. Now that we just have a free floating canister on the inside of this. Now the canister goes in from the top down, so it doesn't drop out the bottom of this thing. So we gotta pull the rest of the cover off, and then we'll be able to pull the canister out so we can feed it in the new cover before it goes on. All right, to get the rest of the cover off, we gotta deal with the headrest first. The headrest has gotta come out, and there's some plastic tubes in here that the guide rail tubes that the headrest goes into. Now there's also airbags that go to the headrest. I know you're wondering what the hell is an airbag doing in the headrest. It's not actually a bag that blows out, but this thing is like a spring-loaded piece, and this front piece will extend forward in a wreck somehow. So there's a wire we got to disconnect on that. So I'll flip it around so we can see how that disconnects, and then how to pull these headrest tubes out. So let me flip this around. I'll come around front and show you guys. Okay, so here's the frame. We got this wire here. This wire here is going, this yellow connection is going up a cable into this, through this tube up into the headrest assembly. So this is going to disconnect. There's a little push button that's on this side instead of being pushing here. Push down on this piece. Hands all backwards. There we go. And that pops out. Okay, so that's our spring piece that pushes. Okay, that's disconnected. Now you can pull the headrest out, but there's two catches, okay? So there's one side has your handy dandy button here. When this seat came in, the headrest was busted. This piece was busted. I put a black one on there so you guys can see how this comes apart. So you can push this one in, but the headrest will just go all the way up. It won't come completely out. So you gotta take this one off. There's also a hole on the side over here that you can put a paper clip or a little thumbtack or something in to take it out, which is one easy way. You can pop this clip off. So there's a catch here and a catch here on the inside. So I'm gonna go right on the inside rim of that, pop that, and then on this side, and I'm gonna pop that. Okay. Now this will come loose. Okay. That exposes the button right here. Okay. You see this tiny little hole right there. That's what you could stick a paper clip in or whatever and push that in. But so that's how it's gonna get off. Push both buttons in, this one at the same time. Headrest is gonna slide out, completely out, okay? And then here's our cable for the airbag for the headrest, okay? So we're gonna set this aside. Now, we gotta pull these tubes out, okay? I don't have to pull this one off because it's got a button on it, so we're gonna pull the whole tube out. Now there's two catches on the inside of the frame that we gotta push in. Okay, so it's a little bit easier to do when I'm gonna pull the rest of the cover off, because then I can get to, I can take this plastic, this foam piece off. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Let me go ahead and pull the rest of the cover off. We got the airbag out, so we can roll this up, a little bit more Velcro. Okay, that's pretty much there. Let's go to, we'll pull these off here, just kind of turn it inside out like that, okay? So this is kind of a funky thing on the Jeeps. It's got this big, hard foam, kind of looks like styrofoam that's painted black, okay? This piece comes off, okay? Comes out like that. Some plastic holding it on, okay? So you can see the little ears of that and that. It's got these pieces that slide into here, okay? So when we're putting this back together, that's gonna slide on like that, okay? But this off gives us a nice little window into the old headrest tubes, okay? So there's two different ones. This side, you can see that this piece here, there to here, is wider. It's about I don't know, close to ½ inch. This is about a ¼ inch. This is real narrow, okay? The narrow one is towards the console. This is the driver's seat. This is the console side. This is the driver door side. The wider piece is towards the door. The narrow piece, console side, okay? This one's got the button. This one's got the little hole or pop the thing off to get it out, okay? So to get these tubes out, this piece here is kind of, it bends in. It's kind of like a spring-loaded kind of thing, okay? That pushes in, and then these will pop straight out, okay? So I'm gonna take, sometimes they've been in there for a while and they're kind of stuck. If you need, get a hammer, but you wanna push this piece in. So right here, you wanna push this catch in, right there. Same thing on that side, the exact same catch. You push that in, and then have pressure going up. So this one's not that hard to push with your finger. I'm gonna push that in, then I'm gonna take a hammer and I'm just gonna tap the bottom of that so it starts to slide up, okay? Now that that's free, when I can get to the top, I can pull that tube out, okay? Side here's got the small side. Push that button in, give it a little tap, just to get it started moving, and we're good there, okay? Now, we'll lay this down, because it's still going through our seat cover. Okay, so these tubes will pop out now. That'll pop out now. There we go. Set those to the side. Here's the cover. Now, we need to get the airbag out of that. Now, remember when we were pulling the airbag apart, unbolting it, we said that the airbag feeds from the top down. So we got to pull that airbag canister out of the old cover. So let's take this. So here's the top of the cover. Here's the bottom. This canister is going to slide out. Now it's got these are the parts of the nuts thread onto, and they got holes cut in them, so I'm going to just pull those out. Okay. Here's your airbag canister, okay? This is what goes on the side of the seat, built in. New cover is going to have the same bag, the holes cut in and all that jazz, be able to put that in, okay? Throw this to the side. Foam. Replacing you don't really need to replace foam on the tops. They very rarely are going to get really beat up to where they lose their density like a bottom does, because it doesn't get the compression of sliding out of it. You know, all your weight's not sliding out of it like the side panel towards the door on the driver bottom, getting in and out all the time. Unless something really out of the ordinary happened to the top, you know, then you may want to address the top foam then. But typically all I'm going to do on the top foam is I'm going to steam it out, steam it, puff it back up, make sure it's in good shape, and then go ahead and start recovering it. So usually not much foam work to do on the top, as the bottom's a really big part of the install is messing with the foam. Top, you're pretty good to go. Steam it, we're good to go. I'm not going to show steaming, it's going to take a little time, but I'll get this all steamed, put the new cover on it. So flip this around. Grab the new cover, start walking you through the steps on that.